Welcome to a world of thrills, a world of drama, of capes and tights, a world where death is a rolling door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Geek Matrix show. That's Rob. Brandon's not here. I'm in the middle, the one that talks too much. Whoa, phrasing. Um, Not meaning to sandwich myself up in here real quick, but we're gonna go over the. Did I say it's episode 271? And today we're going to be covering JSA number 13, Birds of Prey number 27, Poison Ivy number 38, Absolute Superman number 13, Absolute Green Lantern number 8, Batman number 3, and DCKO Night Fight number 1. Also coming out this week, not mentioned on the show, Gotham Academy First Year number 2, Harley and Ivy Life and Crimes number 1, Cheetah and Cheshire Rob the Justice League number 4, Batgirl number 13, and Adventures of Superman, the Book of L, number 3.
And what a book that was.
Oh man, I haven't had a chance to read it
God.
yet. Haven't had a chance to read uh, any of the honorable mentions this week yet. And
Really?
yeah, I was looking forward to Harley and Ivy Life and Crimes. I don't know what that one's about, but
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
any kind of Harley and Ivy book, I'm always down for. So, and Cheetah and Cheshire Rob the Justice League is actually a pretty damn good book.
Yeah, I had written it off when I first heard about it. I'm just like, yeah, I don't really care too much about either of these characters, and it just seems kind of gimmicky. But the more I see it, the more I'm thinking it might be a fun read. So I think I'll check it out.
Hell yeah, hell
And
yeah.
Josh, just so you're aware,
Yes,
on our
sir.
technical side, I didn't realize we'd started because your shared screen has disappeared, and
Oh.
the screen doesn't even say live, so I had no clue we were on. That's why
Whoops,
just see
that
the
was
two of us, and that's it.
that was my bad. Whoop there we go. That should be
All
better.
right, there we go. And normally, even like on our platform here, it says live at the top or on air. It doesn't even say that.
It's weird. Says it on mine.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know. That's why I was like thrown for a loop when you just started talking. Like, oh
Doop,
shit.
doop.
Okay, we're here. All right, hello. Yeah. So you've
What are
done the
you
intro.
gonna do?
Cry about it.
No need in that. Tell you
Yeah.
what, I am a little bummed out about though. I
Jay's
ordered,
losing. Me too.
I ordered one of those. This is the best. You know, I always make the jokes about my memory. Like if I forget about watching a movie, I get to laugh at it twice, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
months ago, I found out about that drawing board McFarlane collector for the Harley Quinn that they were doing,
Right. Oh yeah.
and I
Yeah.
immediately ordered it. And then that was a number of months ago. That was months ago. And then last month, when I found out that they were releasing a Harley Quinn figure through Darling Board, I ordered an. So now I've got two. I've got two coming, and I don't. I've never done it before. Um, I've ordered. I've actually just recently backed something for the first time on Kickstarter for my kid. Glitch Productions is putting out some Murder Drones graphic novels.
Interesting.
Side note, not like a paid commercial or anything here, but that is some serious shit. Glitch Productions makes really good stuff.
Yeah.
Um, the Amazing Digital Circus, Knights of Guinevere, Gaslight District, and Murder Drones. All top-notch shows.
Mm-hmm.
Can't recommend them enough. Gaslight District is the only one that's TVMA. Or no, excuse
Right.
me. Uh, Knights of Guinevere is the only one that's TVMA. The rest of them are TV PG.
Mm.
TV PG, TV PG 13 ish, like right under the bar of PG 13.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
You just
get
speaking of
TV
your member,
14, huh?
you were talking about Harley Quinn.
There's that damn memory again. I don't even know how I got from Harley Quinn to murder drones.
You just
Oh,
you
the
started
backer, the
train
backer.
talking yourself
Yep,
into talking about TV ratings and then
yep,
just couldn't get off
yep.
it.
I backed the Harley Quinn. Oh, that. I backed the Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't even know how long I'm gonna have to wait to get this thing. I'm assuming it could be like a year.
Think it's supposed to be shipping, if not late this year, then early next year. I believe.
Man, if it's
Because
late
I've
this
seen I
year,
saw
that's
that too.
awesome.
I saw that too. I don't remember I didn't back it because I didn't really care for that figure. It looks cool, but I'm just not too into the movie figures. And
I needed a good looking
it
Harley
looked
figure
cool.
before
Yeah.
McFarlane shoved it away, and I don't like any of the McFarlane Harleys. I don't like any
Even
of the McFarlane
the
Jokers, not the regular ones.
even the it's not animated series Harley, but like the classic costume Harley, because I think they had a normal one.
I mean, they did, but I mean, if I was collecting animated series stuff, then yeah, I mean, I'd go that route. But I'm not. You know that she's not been that Harley for so long
Yeah.
that I mean, obviously, you know, I'm not collecting a specific theme. I've got some 52 mixed with some Forever Evil, and I mean, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, just getting what you like,
yeah,
which is
and
good, but also dangerous.
yes, because then it
Because you
opens
could
up a
end up liking a lot.
whole bunch of shit.
Yeah. So I tried to do that, and then they started releasing other figures. I'm like, oh, that'd be so cool. And then they were started releasing teams. I'm like, oh man, I could build a Justice League. Oh man, I could build a Justice League International.
That's
Oh
what you
man, I
did
could
to
build a
me.
JSA. I'm
You
having a
did
hard
that
enough
to
time
me.
building a Green Lantern Gore. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to happen. I promise.
You did it with one figure, just that one, way up there.
Is that
Strangely
Wonder Woman,
enough,
right?
still standing the tallest.
Yeah.
That one right there.
Because I know how much you like Wonder Woman.
Fucking how much I love. That's just single handedly the absolute most gorgeous Wonder Woman ever drawn. Hands
Oh,
down,
that Greg Capullo design?
fucking A.
Hell yeah.
It's the most beautiful design of Wonder Woman ever made.
Well, I'm even more happy I got you that figure, and even more
Yes.
happy it was your first.
It's
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
first in a very bad addiction.
Yeah, tell me about it. I think my wife wishes I never started. Sometimes I wish I never started, but it's so much fun.
I don't know. Holly is too supportive of it.
It's hard not to be supportive of your significant other's hobbies, you know?
When we were talking today, no, because
Yeah,
she's just like just buy it,
right.
and that's never the right thing to say. It's never just buy it. Don't ever just say just buy it.
No.
Today she said, "Look, I know like how we do things and how you do things with the podcast, and you know like you pulled back, and that's why you've got honorable mentions and all of that. Why don't you go back to buying all of DC's comics every week?" I'm like, baby, that's $200 to $250 a month, roughly.
Yeah.
She goes,
Yeah,
I
that's a lot of
know,
money.
but I mean, you love it so much, baby. That's
Uh,
$250 a month.
yeah.
Oh man, you know, if I had the money though, I would. I'd be buying all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Everything DC, Marvel's Ultimate Universe, and a buttload of indie shit. I
I've
have so many comic books I wouldn't even know what to fucking do with them.
I've allowed myself to collect just a handful of titles, and even that feels like a lot of money. Like I've easily spent nearly $50 a time some weeks just buying some books. Of course, that was when I was collecting some back issues as well, but still, on average, on a big week for me, it's $20 to $30, and that feels like a
Brandon,
lot.
Brandon. Speaking of back issues, Brandon just sent me another stack of comics, and he's got this thing that he does, man. And I love him. Thank you so much for the comics. But what Brandon doesn't realize is that when he sends me a stack of comic books, it costs me money. Because Brandon will send me issues 12, 13, 15, 16, and 18. I'll read those first two issues and go, God damn it.
Yeah,
And I have to stop so I don't have to go back and fill in.
yeah, and
Okay, that's part of the
really,
collecting. It's part of the fun. It's part of what I love about
yeah,
it, man.
it is
And
really
if you
hard to
don't
like
like it,
read
you
one
don't have to go
physical.
out and get it.
Yeah, it's really hard to read one physical and then need to read one digital because you can't find it physical.
It sucks. I've done it and I'll do
Yeah,
it.
I've had to do it too.
Yeah, I've done it and I'll do it. But if I have the choice, I would much rather uh, read physical.
Yeah. Oh,
And I
speaking of,
really
you
just
remember last week I was complaining about Boom Studios messing up the digital releases for Power Rangers Prime and VR Troopers.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yesterday I bought issues 1, 3, and 4 of VR Troopers. I was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna start collecting this one. It's a 5 issue limited series, so why not? Oh damn.
Yeah, 30 cents.
Number 8?
Number 9
Oh, number 9.
ever. But uh, this thing is in damn near flawless condition too. Not that I'm
Yeah.
assuming it's worth any kind of money, but it is. It's in damn near flawless condition, and the most intoxicating book smell.
Oh god, yeah. Classic issues like that.
Yep.
Oh, it smells so good. My wife will never understand.
And he also got me Lobo
Oh hell yeah.
one,
Number 1?
two, yeah, 1, 2, and
Ooh.
3, not 4, and then Lobo's back
That's the
1, 2, and 4. So I'm
that's
missing 3
the
and 5
Veitch,
from
right?
that one.
Veitch.
What?
Is it Veitch?
Yes. No.
Right.
Griffin or
Oh,
Giffen.
okay. Giffen, yeah, Keith
Jesus,
Giffen.
Griffin.
Griffin.
Yes, the guy that invented him, the one who did get away.
Yeah.
I'll never ever get that man's autograph, and that makes me sad because he made the coolest comic book character ever.
Yeah.
Lobo over Deadpool for life. Fight me.
I honestly
Or
shit.
not.
I forgot Keith Giffen died.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Not
Yeah,
me.
that actually sucks too.
Hardcore.
Because that I could have had him sign some shit too, but damn.
He's one of the damn good ones.
Yes, he was. 2 years ago. Son of a
Yep.
bitch. Anyway, Lobo over Deadpool, you say?
Yeah. Always and forever, my friend.
Yeah, I I could get behind that. Deadpool's cool and all. He's fun, but there's something about Lobo. He's the baddest fragging bastich this side of the Milky Way galaxy. You can't go wrong with him.
You can't. If you
I
do,
mean,
it's your
you could
fault.
go very wrong with him, but that's a whole different story. Just ask Guy Gardner.
Touche.
Okay, so I'll admit I have not read a shit ton of Lobo in my life. my introduction to Lobo was Superman the Animated Series.
Oh, well, that what a fun way to get introduced, though.
Yeah, no, he was instantly one of my favorite characters because he was so much fun on that show. Um, and the voice actor they picked, I can't remember what the name of the voice actor is, but he played it perfectly. Very iconic 90s voice too. If you heard it, you're like, oh fuck, I've heard that voice a million times. But that's besides the point. So I haven't read a lot of Lobo, but since then I've loved Lobo. But my favorite Lobo story that I have read, and I mentioned Guy Gardner, is Guy Gardner Reborn. Is that what it's called? Shit.
Could be.
It's Guy Gardner Reborn, 3-book mini limited series. There's 3 books. I'm not gonna say issues because it was back when DC was doing like miniature graphic novels in multiple volumes. So it's Guy Gardner Reborn 1, 2, and 3, and it features Lobo, and it's Guy Gardner and Lobo out into space together after Guy Gardner quit the GLC, and he asked Lobo to help him steal something from the Guardians of Oa. And it just goes freaking crazy. It's Guy Gardner and Lobo basically fighting the Green Lantern Corps.
Fun.
If you've never read that story, Josh, you need to read that story.
I feel like I definitely have, but I could be wrong, and it's always worth a look.
Yeah, it's fun. But it's also like early 90s, like 1992, 1993. So keep that in mind. It's a very different Guy Gardner. It's a very different DC universe. It's a lot more hardcore, if you will. Suffers the early 90s drama well before the 2000s brought it into like modern times.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, which I kind of miss. I'm gonna be honest with you.
At times.
Yeah, stories. I know we shit on the '90s a lot, and for good reason. But there's a lot of stuff that was just like it was simpler. It was just more exciting and enticing, and it wasn't just rehashed all the fucking time. But I guess it was also new.
Yeah. 90s were definitely an explosion of a new kind of story. It was, oh God, it sounds so cheesy and I hate even saying it, but it truly was a new, didn't mean to slam into the desk there, a new era of comics, and not just one of pouches and not just one of extremism, but it opened up comic creators to do some pretty fucking crazy shit. And while there were record numbers of misses, there were
Yeah.
quite a few hits.
Yeah.
You
I mean, the
know,
first half of that decade had not only Superman dying, but Hal Jordan becoming a supervillain and Batman having his back broken for a year.
yeah, and we're not even getting into the X-Men, and I mean, well, the X-Men are really the only thing that was like super. Well, no, that's not true. Spider-Man was super awesome in the '90s too.
Was it though?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yes.
I'm convinced there's never been a top tier Spider-Man story. Spider-Man by default has been like the cover character for Marvel Comics just due to popularity, but I'm convinced there's never been a Spider-Man story that trumps like every X-Men story, every Batman story, every Superman story. I don't think there's ever
I mean, if you're
been
saying every, but
yeah, that's what I mean. Like there's if you're tier listing comic book stories of just big name characters, I don't think any Spider-Man story cracks the top 10.
like if you're choosing the top 10 comic stories of all time,
For big names, like we're not talking indie comics or like stuff like Watchmen. I'm talking like premier hero characters
I
like
don't care what
Batman,
you. I
Superman,
don't care.
Flash.
I don't care what you or anybody else says. Hot off the presses, fresh off the newsstand. Everybody was grabbing, reading, and tearing it up. Maximum Carnage was the shit.
And I'm sure it was, but would you say it was better than Nightfall? Would you say it's better than Death of Superman? Would you say it's better than Green Lantern Rebirth? Would you say it's better than Crisis on Infinite Earths? Would you say it's better than Secret Wars?
Well,
Like,
no, but are
that's
we
what I'm
staying in
saying.
the 80s or are we going back? I mean, are we staying in the 90s or are we going back to the 80s too?
I'm
Like I
saying
said,
of
there
all
are a lot
time.
of, but if we're like picking the top story, I mean, if we pick a top story out of like the most popular characters and we rank those top stories, I would put Maximum Carnage up in there. If we
In
only
the
had,
top
if like
10.
if we picked one story from Batman, one story from Superman, one
Oh, I'm not
arc,
saying there has to
whatever.
be just one story from each, but like you could have like three top tier stories for Batman that make the top 10, right? For example.
Nightfall, Night Quest. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I got
Night
you.
Night Set does not count.
Night Set.
But you know what I mean, right? You could have Court of Owls to this day is still like pinnacle. Nightfall, and if I'm gonna hold myself to the account of three Batman stories, do I say Batman? No, I wouldn't even say Batman RIP is like top of all time. Okay, I'll hold her to two for Batman for now. But like that's what I mean. Like, could any Spider-Man story go up against those two, for example, right? I know you say Maximum Carnage was the shit, but
It
that's what
really,
what
it
I'm getting
really,
at.
really was, dude.
Do you think Maximum Carnage is better than Nightfall?
No, Nightfall is
Exactly.
one of. I think Nightfall is one of the greatest comic stories ever written.
Do you think Maximum Carnage is better than the Dark Phoenix saga?
Yes, I enjoyed it more than the Dark
Yeah,
Phoenix
okay.
saga.
Fair enough. Do you think it's better than Death of Superman? Do you think it's better than
No,
Green Lantern Rebirth?
no.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Well, you know
I
what?
don't
You
know
know
that.
what?
Like,
I would put
it's,
it on par with Rebirth.
yeah. Oh wow.
For me. I had it was just as much as having to get to the comic book shop to find an edition to find the next issue of Funeral for a Friend. I
Yeah.
was doing the same fucking thing with all of the Maximum Carnage. It was just had to gobble it all up, man. Had to read
Would you say Maximum Carnage though is the best Spider-Man story as well of all time?
it.
Of all time. And
See,
this is
so
including
there's
Craven's Last Time. So this is including I'm gonna say the other because I'm a sucker for the other. That's just me. As this is including Death of Gwen Stacy. This is including the Clone Saga. this is this is
well, see,
including
that's
a
where
whole
you get.
bunch of
See,
shit.
I'm so maybe my vote doesn't quite count because I do tend to disagree with most people when it comes to Spider-Man. Like, I think the execution was off, but all in all, the idea and the backbone of the Clone Saga was fucking amazing. I
I
think.
mean the concept, yes, but like I even started to read it, I never finished it. It just gets so convoluted and annoying. But yeah, the concept is solid.
I thought it was all right. Maximum Carnage,
Yeah.
I'd put up there. It is better than
As
Dark
like,
Phoenix. It's on par with Rebirth.
but and now I'm say just rank the Spider-Man stories. Would you say it's better than Craven's Last Hunt? Because that
I
has
would put it.
been, from what
I
I
would
understand, the most fan favorite Spider-Man story of all time.
no for no. It would go Craven's Last Hunt and then Maximum Carnage
Oh, okay.
and then the death of Gwen Stacy.
Then yeah. I think we have a third person in the room.
Well, we had one pop in, but it was only for
They
a half a second.
disappeared. Uh
Yeah.
oh. Well, shit. I was hoping to keep that conversation going because I really want to hear Brandon's opinion on this.
Well, he does have to bounce and oh no. Well, there he is. He
Howdy.
is here.
Woo!
Ugh. I
What's
think
up,
the other
Brandon?
one you sent was like the the viewing link, not the join link or something.
Yeah, I had some technical difficulties with it as well.
Oh yeah.
Brandon, how's it going, man?
Well, as you can see from my name, not great.
Exhausted.
Um,
I get it.
I got home at like 4:30 or something, and I was like, I'm so tired. I just need like a 20-minute nap or something. And I laid down to sleep, and I woke up, and it was 5:50 p.m.
Like, oh shit.
Although I didn't have like urgent text this time, so I appreciate you not blowing up my phone and giving me a heart attack.
We just figured work was kicking your ass and you needed a rest or you were stuck at the office or something.
No, I appreciate that. No, I genuinely I was all geared up to do it, but I collapsed. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
Happens to the best of
So I
us.
look terrible
Yeah.
right now.
Nah, you're all good. Well, Josh and I were knee deep in a conversation where I tasked him with more of a debate topic. So,
Hmm.
first, I want to ask you, what do you consider the greatest Spider Man story of all time?
Jeez, probably Craven's Last Hunt.
Okay. Now, my first point, and this just it kind of led into that. I would
Wait,
not
what
place, and you
in your top three? What are the other two? Before we get into that,
a
I'm
fair point.
just curious.
Spider-Man No More,
Oh,
and
see, damn, that's a
Right
good
on.
one too.
Good choice.
uh,
That one goes above Death of Gwen Stacy.
Please,
I'm
please say
tempted
the
to
other,
put
the other.
yeah, I'm tempted to put the death of Jean DeWolf, but I
Hmm,
don't really like that. I mean, I don't dislike that story. I I don't know. If not that, I don't think it has a name. Like it's not an arc or anything, but Spectacular Spider-Man number 200 is definitely one of the best issues of Spider-Man ever written. That's the death of Harry Osborn as Green Goblin.
hmm.
So I would probably put that as number three. Um, but if it has to be like a story arc or something, um, yeah, I don't know. I got to think
How
about.
far
Oh,
down the list? Okay, never
well,
mind.
what is the I guess the first arc of the Straczynski Spider-Man? I don't know if it has a name. I don't think it has a name. Yeah, whatever that would be, I guess that would probably be my runner-up.
Fair.
It basically the Morlun saga, the original Morlun
Oh,
saga.
yeah.
If it had to be an arc, it would be that.
I
'Cause
mean, it doesn't
that's
have to be just like a self-contained story, but
oh yeah, then it
yeah,
would be yeah, Spectacular 200, and then Spider-Man No More. I'm forgetting what issue that is, and
it's
then
a
um,
347 or way earlier than that, I
way
imagine.
earlier. This is like the
Yeah,
60s.
yeah. I want to say it was in the 50s, maybe.
50. Yeah, Spider-Man wasn't invented in the
No,
50s.
I mean the issue number 50s.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. No, that is should have been obvious. Issue 50.
In
oh,
my
it was.
top
Oh shit.
three,
Yeah,
Spider-Man No More is going to have to bump Death of Gwen Stacy down.
Yeah, that's understandable.
yeah.
I don't know how that even escaped my mind. Rob, did you want to finish with yours, or should I just ask him how far down on the list is it?
Oh, I'm curious. How far down the list is Maximum Carnage?
Oh, uh, I don't even know. I don't know
It
where I
doesn't
would
even
rank that
scale.
one. It's somewhere between the Clone Saga and the Howard Mackie run of Spider-Man, both of which are just not unreadable, just like garbage.
Hard.
Just not good. Um,
Tell me how you really
no.
feel.
I don't know. There's not much
Yeah.
to say. I mean, Carnage is a product of its time, and it
Yeah.
has that um, like setup that all new characters have, where they seem really interesting, and then all subsequent iterations are just whatever.
Yeah, they kind of
Um,
fall apart.
so yeah, so initially it's like,
I
oh
call it
wow, this
getting
is
doomsday.
quite a threat, and it's certainly something to see Pete and Eddie have to team up against a threat that's bigger than them. But honestly, like Spider-Man crossovers have just never been that good. which is ironic to say because Kraven's Last Hunt is technically a crossover, but I think that's one of those ones where it just doesn't get overburdened by number one having to introduce new characters and all this other stuff that I don't really care about. But number two, there is a much better emotional through line because I actually care about everything that happens to Peter in Kraven's Last Hunt and just that harrowing emotional arc than whatever crap Carnage is doing. And I don't even remember how long that story is. It's like 16 parts or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I would not consider that anywhere close to top 10, 20, 50, or well, I don't even know if there are 100 Spider-Man arcs that I could name, but yeah.
Fair enough. Well, I had a hot take
Sure.
that I think Josh would consider a hot take for sure, maybe scalding.
Uh-huh.
That when it comes to Spider-Man stories, there's
Hmm.
not a single one that is in the top 10 of big name character stories of all time.
Really?
I would say
And
so. Like
Kraven's Last Hunt usually is that's the one that people choose. That's like
but for a Spider-Man arc, but would you say it's better than Nightfall? Would you say it's better than Court of Owls? Would you say it's better than
would I
Death of
say it's
Superman?
better than Nightfall? Yes. Oh my god. Is that a joke?
Oh, Josh is angry.
I mean, you could be angry if you want, but it's true.
Oh, Josh
Nightfall
left.
is one part of, if we can be completely honest, kind of a bloated saga. But most people would agree that. That's why no one ever talks about Knight's Quest, and they barely talk about Knight's End.
Well, I'm
Na-
just
name
talking about
name name the
the
name
first
the
third.
lions. I'm like name the lion's share of villains that Azrael faced in Knight's End, or I'm sorry, Knight's Quest. Please.
All
Josh.
of them.
Oh.
No. I didn't say just give me like just a generic catch-all answer. I mean, name some of them. There's a reason for that. Like
Most of them.
I'm shocked to hear someone's that's like someone saying here are iconic stories of comics of all time, and one of the ones that they name is like Armageddon 2001. It's well known because it's not good, right? It's just one of those or Bloodlines or Underworld Unleashed, which hot take actually kind of love, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
consider that a well-regarded book critically by any means. It's just something that people know because it's associated with a certain era. Although it's a little unfair, Josh, because that's like you grew up reading comics during that era, so it's obviously going to be closer to you than it is to me. But
Yes.
yeah, I
You
don't
hurt
know.
my
I'm
feelings
like,
about Nightfall. Maximum
Yeah.
Carnage. I was like, he was like, it's never been that big. I'm like, but everybody at that comic shop when I was
at the
going
time,
there was
yeah,
like,
of course,
oh, I
yeah.
gotta get it.
But aren't
Like,
we
you
all
should be friends
products?
with Larry like I am.
Yeah, aren't we all products of whatever was popular during our era? I mean, Rob, it's the same thing for you. Like, how big was Civil War in 2006? You'd have been in high
Oh,
school or something.
massive.
It was
Yeah, like I
everywhere.
said, I did a high
Yeah,
school book report on Civil War.
exactly. And it's
And
like,
that's
I mean, not to say that Civil War is less popular, but it's probably not. I know it still sells pretty well. It's probably not like as highly regarded among comic readers now who are reading the latest events.
especially since Civil War II kind of tarnished the legacy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Until
It's all
Armageddon
starting to come
2002
around.
comes out.
Yeah. It's very trippy because like
Yeah.
now I'm on the end of it, and I am by no means old, but there are a number of people like on Reddit or social media or something who's like I will always have a soft spot in my heart for for Dark Knight's Metal or something like that. It's like, that was only 8 years ago, and then I was
Yeah.
like, that was only 8 years ago.
But that was
Or
8
Dark Side War or something
Hang on,
like
hang
that.
on.
And I was
hang on.
like,
Oh yeah, Dark Knight's Metal. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, I thought you were saying
The-
Death Metal. Like Death
no,
Metal.
yeah, the first
8
one.
years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah,
It's
that was
all one
2017.
story.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But any like Metal was fun, but for anybody having a soft spot for metal, that's wild. But like you said, yeah,
I
it's
have
a
a soft
product of
spot.
the
It
time.
all comes around.
I mean, it's a fantastic story, but
Yeah,
like you have a soft spot for Maximum Carnage and Nightfall.
exactly. Yeah,
Metal in comparison, I don't think.
No, no, not even.
Yeah,
Yeah, no. I'm fond of metal in comparison of yeah.
yeah.
yeah, that's what
But
I mean.
if you were just getting into comics at that time, it might be a
Yeah,
little,
it would,
you know,
especially if it was your
more-
first big event,
yeah,
it'll stick with you. And that would be like again, like bring up Spider-Man stories. That's why I have such a soft spot for Other, because that was like the
yeah,
first big Spider-Man story arc I read.
No, the first big story arcs that I read was Jason being murdered and Roy being addicted to drugs and the Longbow Hunters.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
for me,
kinda
first
get- I
big
kinda-
Spider-Man story arc, but yes.
Yeah, I kind of get where you're coming from though, because like I feel like my experience was sort of a twofold thing, where there were things that I was reading at the time I can certainly look back on and feel nostalgic towards. Again, which is weird to say because they're not that old, but like every time I look at Hal and Pals, it's like being transported back in time.
I
'Cause that
didn't
was
buy a Spider-Man comic. Hold on one
Mm.
second. I'll grab it.
But yeah, and it was just like twofold because I was thinking of that stuff, right? Like the stuff that I was reading in high school, again, not that long ago, but also just reading comics overall and finding all this older stuff that I really liked.
Yeah.
So it's sort of my association is linked with those two things. So that's why it's like I can have that same feeling looking at Under the Hood,
Mhm.
for example, but I wasn't reading that in 2005. It's just because that was a story I really liked.
Yeah.
Carried it everywhere. I literally there was like a month where I just had it in my backpack and I wasn't reading it. Like I'd already read it at that point. I just liked having it with me. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like the comic book equivalent of Linus and his blankie. That makes sense, you know. It's like I just
Yeah.
needed it around to comfort me.
Yeah, that was me and Mini Marvels from like 1999. Chris Russo's Mini Marvels. I took that issue every day to school to the point that I slipped going down a muddy hill one day and got mud all over some pages.
No.
I still have that issue with mud on it, and I
Oh.
still fucking love it.
I feel like every comic fan has that issue. The issue
Yeah.
they just brought everywhere. Again, not
Yeah.
because you were reading it. It's just like it's like a comfort item.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I even come from an era where video games came with instruction booklets, and I had comfort instruction booklets.
Oh man. Oh man.
I
don't know if they
can't
still
even
make,
tell
like-
you the amount of times I read the Gauntlet on PlayStation instruction booklet.
It's kind of similar, not for the instruction booklets, but when they had like the game guides, the Prima guides, that you
Oh
could get
yeah,
at Target or GameStop or whatever.
yeah,
And I used to honestly, it wasn't even because I like needed tips on the game. I just kind of liked looking at the stills from the game.
yeah.
So I had like one for Destiny, I think, or something. I remember taking that one everywhere.
Destiny.
Yeah, I
Shit,
know.
my
That's
very
the-
first. This is gonna age me. Pokemon Red and Blue,
Yeah, dude, you're ancient.
and that was the same for me. I just read that thing on the fucking toilet, dude. I'd finish the game and just like, oh, I remember doing that. I remember
Yeah.
doing that. I remember doing that.
It's
Yeah,
nice, you know.
yeah.
This was the first Spider-Man comic I ever bought on my own.
Isn't that
Holy
400?
Shit.
Oh wait, no.
No,
That looks like 400, but
Oh, it's Web of Spider-Man 90.
nice.
And the friggin' holographic lenticular on it looks really good on the webcam.
Yeah.
Does it really?
Actually,
Yeah, it actually looks dope.
yeah. You guys want to see something really cool? Something I
Oh,
thought
it
I
does
would
look
never
pretty
own.
sick, don't it?
Yeah, it actually looks 3D. Yeah, I want to see something sick, Brandon.
All right. So check this out, right? Last weekend, I was up in the Bronx.
Right.
Part of the Bronx I'd never been to before, but I am like I'm like a dog when it comes to comics. If someone advertises something and they're like sale somewhere within a 2-hour proximity and it's when I have free time, I'm going.
Yeah.
It's just gonna happen. I'm gonna make it happen. You know, cancel my plans. I'm there. So it was like some kind of basically like a comic show. They had a bunch of vendors coming at this random Marriott deep in the Bronx. and mostly pretty good. Found some classic stuff, but this was the real kicker because like I set out a budget for myself, and Josh, you should know this is where your goodies came from. But I had a little left in my budget. I was like, I gotta go with a bang. Like I got this new job. I have a little bit more flexibility. I want to get something cool, like something I would never have thought to be able to get like 2 years ago. And I'm walking past this one vendor, and this guy next to me is pointing up at a couple of issues on like this rack of older issues the guy has, and he's like, "That Amazing Spider-Man 27 is really nice, and you're only selling it for 70." And he was like, "Yeah, apparently like someone scribbled on the back, but you know, it's not really that bad." And he's like, "Can I take a look at it?" And he pulls it out, and it is like the most minor, pathetic scribble you've ever like. Who even cares, right? And he's like, "That's it." And so the guy who asked to see it is like, "Ah, well, I won't get it, you know, because that looks kind of bad." But I'm looking at it, I'm like, "Are you fucking like this is?" I'm 100% certain this is Steve Ditko Spider-Man at again an incredibly low price compared to what you'd find online. And the biggest problem is a scribble on the back. Are you fucking joking? So I'm like, can I take a look at that one? And he pulls it down again. He's like, "Yeah, I mean it's in pretty good condition. Cover still attached." And I'm like, "Listen, if you go for 60 right now, I will buy it, no questions asked." And he's like, "That's a little low, lower than I should give it to you. But because I don't really think I'll be able to give it to anyone else due to the scribble, we'll do it at 60 and you can take it right now." So I pull out the cash, I hand it to him, and lo and behold, for the first time in my life, I have an actual Steve Ditko Spider-Man. I should really get a better
That's crazy.
Oh yeah,
case for
dude.
it. But
Oh
I
yeah.
was like just in awe of this thing, and I wish you guys were here in the room with me. I don't because it's I look terrible, but um, but it is like I'll send you some pictures. Like the condition is incredible. There's some browning, obviously, because it's 50
It's
years
old.
old. But this, I mean, sir, this looks like it could have been from 1987.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
So I was just like, "Oh my god, Steve Ditko Spider-Man."
Well, congratulations.
So it was so cool. So I was smiling about that all weekend. And I had to go. A friend had invited me to like a concert out in Staten Island, and I was really close to being like, "I don't think I can go tonight. I kind of just want to look at this thing for the rest of the night. I don't want to be like a shit friend, but I don't want to show up and be distracted because I'm just like I want to go home because I want to look at my Spider-Man."
Could have just took it with you.
But I don't want to do that though, because my fear is that something would happen to it while I brought
Something
it.
would have happened to it.
Yeah.
That'd be my fear
Like,
too.
that this has to be one of the coolest things I've added to my collection. There are definitely some cool things, but like Steve Ditko Spider-Man is
That's some shit make me scared of me late to a job interview.
Ooh.
I have to go put that back home.
Gotta brag a little. Speaking of bragging,
Bragging.
heap me some praise. I need it.
Praise.
It's been
You
a
got
rough
it.
week. Tell me how great I am.
You were fantastic.
Fucking phenomenal, dude.
Now, Josh, I want to see it. I want to see that it's made it safely into your hands. Because I knew it was coming. I was checking to make sure that the delivery went through. Because this was the first time I didn't go directly to the window or anything and have them just like take it. I kind of just dropped it in the box. But I'm always scared with that because I've heard horror stories about packages getting lost, and you had mentioned your stuff had gotten stolen. So I was like, I'm gonna diligently track to make sure it gets there. But I didn't say anything because I wanted it to be a surprise.
Yeah, it showed up, and what a surprise it was. And I had a crappy day too, dude, and it was awesome. I've already thanked you on the show for it. Whipped out all the showed everything.
Oh, you did? Oh shit! There you
Yeah,
go.
it was at the beginning.
Yeah.
Didn't think you were going to be here, but I didn't want to.
Are we even recording?
Oh yeah, we are streaming right now, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we're live.
well, hello everybody. It was we were just shooting the shit.
Well,
I mean,
that
we
is what
tend
we're
to
doing.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is some cool stuff you sent him.
No, I was just like so glad to find it. Honestly, this is how I know it was meant to be. It's like I'd picked up a couple. The Lobos back was I found a few of those at another like vendor at that same show, and I was like, oh, Josh's gonna love these. And like there's the I think which I can't remember which one it was. It might be like the winter special that was also Simon Bisley, but
Yeah.
the guy had issue number 3 of the original series, and I was like I would rather just, or I'm sorry, not issue, whichever. I think it was 3. Basically, I was like, I would rather give you the complete set or the closest thing to it than just
Right.
get one issue. And literally within 20 minutes, this other guy shows up with like 20 long boxes or something. He's like, oh, sorry, I'm late. Like, I was supposed to be here earlier, but I got here late, whatever. And he shows up and, pulls out all the tops and everything. And I go to like the first box and they have 1, 2, and 3 there of the original series. And I was like, if what I'm trying to say is if I had left any earlier, I would have missed out on that. But I didn't, and I
was
found
meant
it,
to
and
be.
I think it was meant to be. So
Well,
that's
it's a
how the
good
universe
thing you didn't.
let me know it was meant to be in your hands. But I'm not gonna lie, I was there was a moment. I think it's just because you always want what you don't have.
Yeah.
And there was a moment, especially with the Lobos back issues, where I was like, do I want to send this to him or fuck him? Like, no, seriously, I was like, maybe I want to keep them for myself. These are kind of
It's
cool. I'm
Lobo's
flipping through the
back, dude.
pages.
It's
I'm
good
like,
shit.
I mean, this Simon Bisley art is pretty cool, and
It's
like,
fucking sick.
obviously, I don't love Lobo or anything, but but it's just because I don't have them in my collection, and the green-eyed demon in me was like, yeah, sure. Fuck my friends. But it's yeah, no, it's all good.
Hey, I got past Batman Who Laughs fatigue, and I am really devastated that I can't bring myself to buy that set. It's the Batman Who Laughs with the 3 Roblins in it, and it's $100.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
cheapest
that's
you can
not-
find it too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that is a hefty amount.
yeah, but I can't help but wonder: have I gotten past my Batman Who Laughs fatigue, and or is it just that I've gotten to a point where I've got to finish my death metal collection?
Maybe both.
Both.
I don't know.
We haven't
You always
seen
wanna-
BWL in a long time now.
No.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would say
Couple
everyone
years.
has completionist tendencies, and if you're so close, might as well, right?
Yeah.
Yes. It's hard not to. There's so many options too, though. Because I don't need like 3 different Batman Who Laughs or 3 different Mercilesses. Anyway,
Right.
that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Where even were you guys before I so rudely interrupted?
We were talking about Spider-Man story arcs.
Yeah, that was it. We were just
Middle of the
bullshitting.
DC.
Nothing
Classic.
important.
Mm.
What is
Yeah.
important though is the books. Should we talk about some of them, guys?
I think we should.
All right. Well, Rob, do you have the original schedule?
Well, we really only swapped 2 items, so yes.
Cool.
Brandon, are you still able to join us for a bit, or do you have to dip soon?
I was supposed to leave at 7, so I got like 30 minutes or so.
Okay. Well, we're gonna kick things off with JSA number 13, if you are prepared.
I'm not prepared, but let me grab my issue and do my best.
All right.
Okay, JSA number 13. Actually, this shouldn't be so bad. I have read this issue pretty closely. JSA number 13 is written by Jeff Lemire, with art by Gavin Guidry, colors by Luis Guerrero, letters by Steve Wands, and cover by Mr. Dave Johnson. Iconic. Love seeing him do a little more DC stuff. And Hourman and Sandman, no less, to kick it
Right.
off, which is pretty cool. But basically, the premise of this first issue is introducing us to the JSA before they were the JSA, rather the cast of the JSA before they officially came together as a team. So we have a mysterious narrator who is kind of leading us up to a point where things are going to or I'm sorry, we have a mysterious narrator who is describing how things are going to get progressively crazier as we're introduced initially to certain members of the JSA, like Carter and Shiera, who are preparing to go on some kind of expedition in South America or something. Professor Jay Garrick, or sorry, not Professor, Teaching Assistant Jay Garrick, who's at Keystone, who's living in Keystone at Midwestern University. Maybe I won't be able to do this. Rex Tyler, who is getting prepared to oversee a merger with Starco, I believe is the name. And Alan Scott meeting an old friend, Gordon, who is working for Starco, overseeing the merger or subway expansion project or whatever it's called, but is acting very suspicious and sort of is asking these very broad questions that's leaving Alan a little confused and concerned. But in the midst of that, Gordon gets up and leaves suddenly, leaving Alan even more concerned and confused, which we'll follow up on later. We meet up with Rex, who's now suited up as our man and is getting ready to do some more investigating at Starco. And as he breaks into their building, runs into Sandman, who tells Rex that he had a dream of something that happened to him here. And we get a brief flash of what that is, which shows him dead. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Down in, it is South America, Ecuador and Peru specifically, we see Carter and Shiera getting ready to start their expedition looking for the Temple of Federa. But as they're getting excited for what is to come, they are attacked by Sportsmaster.
Yes,
Well as
Sportsmaster.
someone else, a woman I'm not familiar with, who threatens to kill Hot Girl after capturing her in a net. I doubt that will happen, but
so weird seeing her called Hot Girl.
Shiera? Really?
Yeah. For me, yeah, she's been Hawkwoman for a while, man. Anyway.
Oh yeah. What, you didn't read comics in the 60s? You were like 20 then.
Eat it, dick.
Anyway. We cut back to Midwestern University, where Jay Garrick is heading home for the night and has a rather chance encounter with one Johnny Thunder, who introduces himself by saying, "I know you're the Flash." Don't do that right from the start. Jay is naturally suspicious and a little bit aggressive, more aggressive than I would have imagined. But as Johnny gives his explanation as to who he is and his own power set, if you want to call it that, Jay is naturally skeptical and then basically tells him to fuck off. We cut over to Gotham's East End, where some people are just kind of hanging around. We don't really know who exactly they are, but the implication once our next mystery man shows up, the Atom, is that they're mobsters of some kind or working for some kind of syndicate. But they naturally laugh him off because, as you know, the Atom's gimmick at this time was he was a short guy. And not just like short as in average size, but like short as in 5 feet tall, maybe even shorter. But naturally, being the Atom and being ripped as hell, he beats the stuffing out of them, finds the loose floorboard, and discovers that they're some kind of Nazi sympathizers or saboteurs or something, and also finds a flyer for some kind of gathering that's coming up soon. And that's when we return to our omniscient narrator, just kind of outlining all of the aspects of the Justice Society, the things that make them different, and also what's going to make them different as a whole, given that they will be the first team or alliance of its kind, though this narrator corrects themselves and later doesn't refer to them as just an alliance, but a society. And as he mentions that, Alan Scott finds Gordon's body dead in his apartment after coming to investigate. So pretty cool stuff. As you know, I'm a sucker for the JSA. I've made that abundantly clear. So JSA flashback arc might seem like filler, but to me, it is paradise. I love getting more and more information on just like the unseen eras that JSA's history. And I guess the problem with, not problem, but the limitations of comics of the golden age meant that you're not really getting like a classic origin like you might have gotten for any iteration of the Justice League or something like that. So the team just kind of is together. You know what I mean? If you go
Yep.
back and read the old issues of All Star Comics, initially they're not even together. They don't even really come together until the third issue. It's just a collection of heroes featured in a title. But even then, it's just like they're just suddenly on a team. There's no um, backstory as to how that came.
Right.
So this feels like a great way to just kind of do that. Maybe give it a little bit of a modern twist with all the modern storytelling conventions. But no, pretty exciting, I think. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they come together, what sort of threat brings them together. I hope it is able to differentiate itself from the Justice League and how they have tended to bring heroes together, usually by having some kind of larger threat. Because I don't know.
This
I
feels
understand the
made.
necessity for that. Yeah, it's just like it's been done before. I'd like
If
to see something a little bit different, you know?
this feels
Um,
more like maybe it's going to be some kind of traumatic experience that pulls them together.
that would be interesting. I
Yeah.
don't want it to be like too traumatic that they're all aggro or whatever, but yeah, just give me a little bit of a twist on it, not just like big bad alien or whatever. But this is the 40s, probably not going to have too many aliens. Anyway, I give this one an 8.5 out of 10. I had a lot of fun, and honestly, a lot of the material, not a lot of the material, the material was definitely elevated by the art, which I really loved. Super clean, and also this cover is great. So yeah, JSA
Oh,
number
that's
13,
fantastic.
good times all around.
I second that. It was a lot of fun. Sorry, Josh, I stepped on your word there.
Go ahead, dude.
A lot of fun. I was really excited just from the cover saying JSA Year One. All right, if I'm reading a Year One title, it's
Mm,
probably going to be a good time because like recent history has kind of made that a great example.
yeah.
Um, so I'm all for it. It looks great, reads great, and it was really cool seeing all these characters in the classic styles. Like I'm having a blast right now reading Dan Jurgens' The Batman um, Second Night as much as I enjoyed reading First Night. And Golden Age Batman set in 1939, 1940. It
Yes.
is so much fun to read, and this captures almost that same feel of just like classic history and fun and like
Mm,
getting into the nitty gritty of these characters as they were 80 plus years ago. Uh,
definitely.
just really delves into who they are. Um, and I get they might feel different from how they are now, but again, it was 80 plus years ago, 80 to 90 years ago now.
Yeah.
Um, so
But I
they
have
would be very different, right?
I have a hot take, which is that I have the hottest take, perhaps,
Uh-huh.
which is that a lot of people malign some of those comics from the 1940s. Yes, they are very stiff and static, both
Yeah.
in terms of dialogue, but also in terms of actual like comic book paneling. I really like them though, particularly old Superman and
Yeah.
old Batman. They're really fun,
They have a
and
charm.
they are so simplistic. But honestly, I think it's kind of funny reading it with all the um, I don't know how to say this, like
Corny
modern
fucking
knowledge and
dialogue.
social development. Yeah, it's something the comic looks so direct, where it's like, Superman will punch the bejeebus out of someone and it'll be like, that'll teach you not to do it. And I'm just like, that is so terrible to say as you break someone's jaw. I mean, you
All
don't see
right.
that. That's the implication. But I kind of love it. So yeah. I've always had a soft spot for older comics, but like
Yeah.
I've seen some people who just like, oh, this is like unreadable since dialogue is so bad, and it's like, yes, very outdated, but there's a charm to it.
Yeah. No, it's yeah, like I said, yeah, it's charming stuff. It's fun to read some of the older stuff, and this definitely captures that feel. Also, if I could throw my hat in the ring for what I think might bring these characters together, it seems like at least we already saw it with Our Man and Sandman
Mm,
that they kind of just came together by happenstance. And I have a feeling like either that's going to happen with a lot of these characters, like the individual adventures they're on, they're just going to happen to cross paths and will work together to help each other out, or their individual missions will cross paths into one mission that all their individual stories have one thing behind it. and we'll kind of bring them together. And it doesn't even necessarily need to be some gigantic baddie. Maybe it's just this CEO is a Nazi, and they all
Yeah.
need to come together to fight it, and maybe that brings them into World War II.
Yeah. I kind of like that idea. Like nothing even really brings them together. It just kind of happens.
Yeah, it's
It might
just
seem lame, but that feels very golden age. Like you don't really need
exactly.
a
Yeah,
reason for it. They just kind of found each other by
yeah. Like I said, we saw that already happen here with Our Man and Sandman,
yeah,
and it worked. And they're already working together about it.
yeah.
Why the fuck not?
I agree.
question.
I agree.
Yeah.
There's another thing that just came to mind that which is, so we all know about the immortal friendship between Flash and Green Lantern, right?
Yes.
But what some people may not know, not to comics explain, but that was really only a invention of the 60s. Like that was just because they
Yeah.
spawned around the same time. Spawned like they're creatures. They were created around the same time.
Yeah. And they
and
were like the two legacy of the Golden Age characters, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And in future iterations of their friendship, they sort of retroactively made it that Alan and Jay were friends, which I was like, yeah, that makes sense. They would be, right?
Yeah.
But when you go back to Flash Comics, All American Comics, Green Lantern, and All Flash, respectively, they never cross over once, which makes
No.
sense. You're not reading it for team ups, you're reading it for the individual character. But I've
Exactly.
always felt they should take advantage of the lack of team up material between Alan and Jay, not counting the stuff you get in JSA, and have a book that is sort of like a flashback of them working together in the 40s.
Like
So
a
my
Flash,
question-
Green Lantern, Golden Age.
Yes, Flash and Green Lantern Golden Age. So my question
Okay.
to you is, if you were to have a book like that, what would you do, and
Oh.
would you have write it?
Okay. Well, who would I have write it? I see.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was going to be. Who would I have write it, and what would I do? That's
What would you do?
That's
You have all
that's the fucking question.
I don't even have an answer to that. I'm just curious. I feel like you
who
are.
who would I have write it? And I say this only because a few years ago, and y'all know this, I read Green Lantern Flash, The Brave and the Bold.
Yes.
And I think he captured their spirits perfectly as a friendship. Mark Waid, I think, would do a terrific job bringing Alan Scott and Jay Garrick together, because I often reminisce about the one issue where Barry and Hal met up with Alan and Jay for like a camping trip.
That was also kind of an inspiration for this.
Yeah.
Like, I was reading this and I was thinking about that, and I was like,
Yeah.
they have such like old retiree, at the nursing home, like kind of grumpy energy. I would love to see a book that was just them at the brownstone reminiscing about the old days, and Alan is like, do you remember when we did this in Gotham? And he's like, yeah, I remember when we did this in Keystone City. I was like, give me like 6 issues of that.
It's like grumpy old men, Walter Matthau, and then the other actor, I can't remember his name, but yeah, like Alan Scott's definitely Walter Matthau. But yeah, no, it's what the fuck. Imagine 1940s superpowered grumpy old men. That there was just, it just works. So yeah, I think that might answer your question as well, your other question. So I have Mark Waid write it for sure. I think he can capture their essences really, really well.
Awesome.
Also, he's studied the shit out of Flash and Green Lantern, as you could tell if you read Brave and the Bold. So he knows the shit about both those characters, and catching up on Jay Garrick and Alan Scott, not a problem for him, I imagine. Also, story would be just like I said, that answers your question, grumpy old men. Just have these two try and maybe bringing them into their friendship, like they kind of come across each other on a mission and kind of force themselves to have to work together, and throughout that adventure they become really good friends and have to get used to each other's crime fighting styles, detective work.
Can we do that for the podcast? Because we got 6 books to get through in 15 minutes.
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry. Let's do it.
All right. As far as JSA goes,
I wasn't sure how far we were gonna get through the book, so I was kind of just like Shoot.
I can really appreciate it. Definitely a setup issue. Feels like it through and through. But the setup is setting up the JSA, and I cannot wait to read all of it. It's a good way to start things off. I give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, 8.5 from me.
All right,
And next up is
Birds of Prey. This is the old schedule, Josh. Old schedule.
okay.
Yeah, I'll just run through it. It's the Unreality Part 3 of 4, written by Kelly Thompson with pencils from Sammy Basri, inks from Vicente Cifuentes, and colors from Adriano Lucas, letters from Clayton Cowles, and the cover from Andy Wu. It's quite the credits page today. So our intrepid heroes are entering the seam. That's what it's called, the seam, and they find pretty much nothing. Nothing seems amiss, but the signal gets a little weak, so they have to vacate ASAP. Cass heads to the Unreality building at the private penthouse, the office of Vivi, who was running the game. Kind of surprises the shit out of her and says, "Look, you need to stop this because bad guys are trying to fuck it up. Some supervillains called the Shadow Army. They want to take it over and like cause some shit. So you need to stop this game right now. We know why you're doing this, and we can help you. We promise." But before she can finally get an answer out of Vivi, the Shadow Army unleashes the gas upon the unsuspecting players in the finale, the final part of the game, and it gets everybody going bonkers. The birds, however, specifically Barda, Sin, and Black Canary, have headed up to a rooftop to find Copperhead, Velvet Tiger, and Stupid Magic Lion Boy, as Black Canary calls him. And they take the fight straight to them. They get most of the upper hand, except Cass is still on the ground with the roided out players, where she also discovers that the weapons have become real. They're no longer just digital animations, like VR, whatever the fuck they called it, just fake stuff, right? All data. It's now real. And some archer who's aggro says, "Oh, I bet I can hit her," as he looses an arrow up to the top of a rooftop where Sin is looking over the city, and that arrow goes right through her chest as she falls to the ground. And next issue, the big finish. Holy shit, did not see that coming. As much as the story arc has been a little bit broken up, as we talked about last month, because some stuff didn't make a lot of sense, and I still have to double check how the last issue ended to see if it made sense for this one. This story, this issue, holy shit, that was fun. Between Cass doing some disappearing acts and going all Batgirl on people, Sin taking the air out of the chest, just mind-boggling stuff. If this is the penultimate issue of the series, I'm even more pissed off that it's ending. This story arc has been, like I said, a little sloppy and maybe the hardest one to read of the entire run, but this issue definitely brought back the fun that I've had throughout all 27 issues so far. Art's fantastic, story's great. I'm sad to see it go. This gets an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, you summed it up perfectly. I don't have much else to add. 8 out of 10. Sad for the big finish, but hopefully this goes out with a bang.
Yeah, hopefully not too much of one. Hopefully there's no loss for the birds. Feels like there's time left to make the ending work rather well. I hope it ends nicely. Of course, the art looks fantastic, and obviously I'm pretty into the story myself. 8.25 out of 10. And what's up next, Rob?
Next is Poison Ivy.
All right, well, Poison Ivy, it shall be, written by Glorious Willow Wilson, with art drawn by Marcio Takara and colored by Arif Priyanto, with lettering from Hassan Atzmani Al-Hau and a cover from Jessica Fong. This is Ivy taking Janet to Bog Venus to demand that she be helped and that her town be hidden again in exchange for calling off the truce with Xylon. There can be only Xylon. Luring Bog Venus out of the green, she's able to attack her. Janet starts and Ivy finishes, killing Bog Venus with a kitchen knife covered in fire blight, a devastating fungus. Their town is still hidden from view, and before she killed Bog Venus, she got a confession that it wasn't Ivy that made Janet sick, it was Bog Venus. So yeah, A member of the Parliament of Trees was murdered by Poison Ivy and Janet from HR. Now,
Boom.
whether or not Janet will recover and whether or not Pam is actually going to call off her alliance with Xylon, that's all yet to be determined. As far as the review goes, the whole damn thing explodes. I'm astounded by how they killed Bog Venus. They're still down to just Ivy, Janet, and Undyne. Croc is still locked up, and Undyne was nowhere to be seen in this issue. The book is just so damn good. It looks great every issue. When it's Takara, it's the best. I never ever want this series to end, but if it ever does, I know that glorious Willow Wilson will do it perfectly. There was a lot of action, wrapping up a lot, and reading it was like watching it. All the shit hit the fan, and now we're waiting for it to blow.
Yeah.
9 out of 10.
Yeah, 100% seconded that. I was jaw dropped on the final page. To answer your question, Josh, I think Xylon is kicked to the curb, if not getting the same treatment that Bog Venus did. And I could see with Bog Venus being dead now, I could see the infection in Janet maybe just magically going away. So maybe because Bog Venus caused it, so maybe Janet's just going to be fine now. We'll have to see, but that's just my own guess. But this issue, fan fucking tastic. Again, like I said with Birds of Prey, this recent story arc has been kind of up and down for me, but this issue really hammered home what made this series so fucking good. So this is my favorite issue in a good long while. It was just mind-boggling. It's also getting a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, no, I
Yes.
also don't have too much to add that wasn't already said on this one. Just really solid stuff as usual. And I would say, Josh, for you, if you're enjoying G. Willow Wilson penned female characters, I can't believe I have to make you do your work and go check out a Marvel book, but please read Black Cat. It's kind of fun too.
Black Cat.
Black Cat.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know that one seems like it probably just passed you by, right? Like the announcement,
Yeah.
you didn't even notice. But yeah, no, it's got like 3 issues out.
All right.
And it's
Interesting, yeah.
basically Felicia tries being a hero mostly
Felicia
because
Hardy is one of my favorite one of my favorite Spider-Man characters, and it always
Favorite
pisses
Black
me
King
off
character.
when she's not thrown into the whole Mary Jane Gwen Stacy argument.
well, I'm not gonna open that can of worms, but all I'll say about this, yeah, basically the premise is like she's being well, you should read it for yourself.
I will read it.
fun.
I've got
It
the
is
note.
fun.
Is that the one that crosses over with Jackpot a little bit?
No.
Oh, okay,
that
so it's
was
more
an
recent
old
one.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
like just started.
Oh,
3
okay.
months ago. Yeah.
Interesting. I gotta check it out.
All right.
Yeah, I
what's
hadn't
up
heard
next?
about that at all. Absolute Superman.
Absolute.
Oh, is it?
Now we're back to normal.
All right.
All right. Brandon, do you want me to just go through and do it real fast?
Fuck it, go for it. You wrote the summary, and I was just gonna read it.
Oh, there you go. Written by Jason Aaron with art inside and out and on the cover, drawn by Rafa Sandoval with colors by Ulysses Ariola and lettering by Becca Carey. This is mostly just Lois monologuing to and about Superman. She wants him to know people will care, and it's about him resolving that people never will care about him. All while Lazarus Corp is straight up bringing World War 2.5 to Smallville. It ends with him pushing himself too far and end up laying on the ground as Ra's al Ghul stands over him, holding a massive kryptonite cloud sword. I am nothing. I am no one. I am only here to bleed. Holy fuck. Those are not words I ever thought I would ever hear Superman speak. And him realizing that no matter what he does or how human he is, he'll never truly be one of them. I really like the conflicting dynamic of the emotion going on in the book. Between Lois saying everybody will love you, just open up, and him going, I've shared this little bit and everybody is scared of me. It is really, really neat.
They're going to come full circle with that, and we will see a Superman who is a little bit more open, because it feels like it's been building to that a lot.
Yeah. Hopefully. That's what we're hoping. Superman concluding that he'll always be other. And Rage taking advantage of both of that. The art's great. The story was really, really good, and it really pulled me in with how Superman is feeling. This one like notched it up a bit for me. 8.75 out of 10.
Yeah, no, 8.25 out of 10 for me. I feel the same way, Josh. I think there were moments where I was expecting Cal's like inner Superman, I don't know what you would call it, to manifest, and he would give that speech, that hopeful, sort of speech that he'll usually give, or have that sort of forgiving mood. But you don't get that.
Nope,
The farmer
this is
walks up.
Kal-El. This ain't Clark.
Yeah, the not the farmer, the mailman walks up, and he's like, I'm sorry, I was the one who ratted you out, and I was like, I'm not expecting anything, I just wanted you to know that, and I really appreciate you. And you feel like that in typical Superman, that would have been seen where he'd been like, I forgive you. But what I found really funny about this one was, not only does he not say that, his response is not just to try to hold back the killing intent that he has, but also to be like, oh, you're really good at like watching people, I can use that. So um, you expect that level of forgiveness from regular Superman, but this one has not been conditioned to do that. And while he may be a
No.
protector of the oppressed and downtrodden, he still hasn't learned how to really connect with people like that. So I hope that arc does, that character arc rather, comes to a head at some point. But it's certainly interesting seeing how distinct he is in not having some of the Superman tropes that are familiar.
Fucking it. That's what's
It
selling
makes
this
sense.
so
It's
hard
justified.
because
So
it is 100% Superman in that book, but it is 100% not Superman in that book.
yeah,
You know
No.
what I mean?
yeah. I mean, this is a Superman who hasn't had all the creature comforts, so it makes sense.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. This is a top tier Superman right now. Um, Shit, I got so into the conversation you guys were having, I forgot all my fucking notes. Yeah, it's been a crazy ride. This is a culmination, really, of everything we've seen so far, and it is much wilder than I ever thought possible. Fucking World War, like you said, Josh, 2.5, entirely within the reigns of Smallville.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
a population less than 20,000, like they said.
Yeah, fighting,
hell of a war.
holding off a globalized military
Yeah,
run by a fucking corporation. Like, holy shit.
yeah.
God bless this town. And that issue, I
Hey,
think it was
God
last
bless
issue
America.
we had with Superman and Saul just kind of becoming closer, really made my heart break a bit more when Saul got taken over by Brainiac.
Yeah.
Because we don't
You know,
know if Saul makes it out of this.
Yeah, I know. It was like,
Right?
hasn't he lost enough at this point?
Especially
When
know
we
Superman's
see
new costume.
the Dark Trinity show up in at the end of what the fuck was it?
DCKO.
Yeah. Saul's not there.
Yeah.
You don't
I
see
mean,
Saul.
Well,
His
Saul
armor.
also wasn't there all the time anyway. Sometimes he was retreated in the armor. But you make a point, right? Like I was like, we know thanks to solicits. I know we kind of spoiled it last week, Josh. I'm sorry if you forgot, but he's getting a new suit, so maybe that has to do with Saul just no longer existing.
Which is sad, definitely. But on the other
Getting a
hand,
new
I can
suit from
see
something.
Brainiac does say something along the lines of, you don't have Saul whispering in your ear anymore.
Yeah.
And while that is sad for Cal, I think it also gives him a chance to not feel like he still has that crutch with everything with Krypton, and he can really forge a new path here. Because
Yeah.
it does kind of feel like
He'll be
he's been
forced.
holding on to whatever remnants of Krypton he still has while trying to figure out things on Earth. Which I
Yeah.
think is why Lewis says, like, does this Superman even know what he's doing? Does he even know what his mission is? Can I help him? Like, I don't think he knows. I
No,
think he's just kind
he
of
has
running
no
around trying
clue.
to save people, but he doesn't really have a goal.
He's just he's like a dog chasing cars.
Essentially,
He's
yeah.
like
He's
a person
reacting.
who sees
He's
a
gonna learn
bunch
how to
of
be proactive.
injustice and is trying to hold. He's trying to stop an avalanche with a shovel.
Yeah,
Yeah. Essentially.
and it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
It will never work. Not even for
Yeah.
Superman.
No. Well, I mean, it looks like he might be making some headway. Maybe he's got a really big shovel. We don't know. But for
I'll
the
tell you right
average man,
now,
it
fucking
work.
Al Ghul has a pretty big ass sword.
He does. He really
Massive
does.
kryptonite, fucking Final Fantasy's Keyblade.
Now, can I posit something here?
No,
And
but you can
correct
deposit.
correct. Wow, correct me if I'm wrong. Have we seen kryptonite affect this Superman at all yet?
Yeah,
We have, eh?
yeah, it
Okay.
works the exact same way. Yep, because it was in the bullets that Chris Smith was shooting.
Right. That's right. Okay. Because I was curious if maybe like, is that kryptonite sword? Surprise! It doesn't affect me, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But
Well,
no,
but we
it does.
well, I feel like I'm forgetting exactly where that was, but we know that there is some kind of weakness attached to it because there was that issue with Brainiac, the solo issue, where he's like the council's like, what do we do? Like, does this Kryptonian have any weakness? And then our Brainiac, or the Brainiac that we know, was like, I guess had found that he was from, or no, I'm sorry, it was another Brainiac who was. I'm getting this
Yeah.
whole thing mixed up.
There's
Our
that Brainiac issue.
Council of Brainiacs to
Yeah.
find if there was a weakness, and there was someone who said he's from Krypton. Kryptonite should be his weakness, or something like that. So, yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
All right.
Fair enough. Okay.
I know that it's 7:00, but if you can squeeze out another 15 minutes, I could probably peel
I
through these with you
texted
guys
my-
bullshitting.
Yeah,
Oh,
I texted
yeah.
my friend, so I have to head out at 7:15, but we can.
Okay,
try and
that's
get-
fine.
All
Not,
right.
not to rush you. If you guys want to keep going after I'm gone, like,
I mean,
What do we
Absolute
got?
Green Lantern's gonna go super quick.
my fault I overslept.
Absolute
Oh,
Green
that's
Lantern,
fine.
Batman, and DCKO. I'll do the last two, Rob, if you want to.
Okay.
I'll do one if you want to do the other. I don't care. I'll do all three.
I
I'm all ready.
I can I can do Night Fight. That's fine. Absolute Green Lantern. This is number 8. This is written by Al Ewing with art, color, and cover from Janoy Lindsay and letters from Lucas Gattoni. This issue gives us a brief backstory on everything that led Jo from her childhood all the way up to the destruction of her home. Well, not really home, but the town that was destroyed by the Green Lantern symbol. The town whose name I am forgetting right now. Please
Evergreen.
forgive me. Evergreen, thank you. I should remember that. Evergreen, duh.
It is just
will,
kind of like
it will forever be green now. And we also see a shit ton of cameos in the Evergreen Police Department, including Mark Shaw, which, if I forgot to double check, but is Manhunter.
Yeah.
That is correct.
That is Manhunter.
Yep.
We see Renee Montoya, who has a brief fling with Joe Mullane, and also
Brown cow.
police chief Bill Hand,
Ha ha ha.
short for William Hand, and for those that know their Green Lantern lore, know Black Hand.
But
So-
is this Bill Hand Senior
Or Junior. Yeah, that's
Junior.
the thing.
Because I was
Well-
like, he's old. I don't
Yeah.
know if he's the Black Hand that we know.
Well,
This is Bill
spoiler
Hand the
alert,
third.
he dies.
Yeah.
He does not make it through the end of the issue. Throughout Joe's history, she leaves Evergreen, goes back to Evergreen after her father dies, reconnects with Hal Jordan and John Stewart, and that's where shit happens, leading up to the destruction of Evergreen and the rise of Abin Sur. She was married to Cameron Chase. We see how that relationship blossomed and divorced. And then it brings us back to the present day where Joe has shown up on Cameron Chase's doorstep with Hal Jordan. And Cameron, knowing what we know, seems that maybe she's going to use Joe to get back in the good graces of her job. At least that's the vibe I got on that last very page. Hell of an issue. A lot of people are calling it a filler issue. To those people, I call dumb. This was necessary, I think, to really get you up to speed on this character.
Filler in the
because
sense that we're filling out the characters a little bit more.
exactly, yeah. this book really hit the ground running and just said, here's all these people, enjoy it, and you get no fucking backstory. So now we're starting
Yeah.
to get some more backstory, and I like it, especially with Joe being the lead character in this. This was a very necessary issue and a very fun one at that. It was very good to see, and it also told her story in some parts across the four colored spectrum of the rings, the Oa, Mu, stuff like that. But I think because of that, I also started to understand it a bit more, and I might just go into that next week because I could go on. So, but this issue looks fantastic, reads fantastic. It's getting a 9 from me.
Oh yeah, I didn't expect
Absolutely.
Mark Hunter to show up, but him not being a good guy, that's easy to foretell. Uh, the backstory explains why Joe has the ring. It seems pretty long, but it painted a strong picture of who Joe is, and for that reason, I really dig it. It was a hell of a read. 8.5 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, great stuff. Great to have more backstory with Joe. I've been seeing a lot of memes on the Absolute Comics universe of why Darkseid felt the necessity to create a version of Green Lanterns where they're all very horny. I thought that was really funny, and I kind of agree. It's like, oh, okay, is this really the vision you had for your universe where you're God? But no, great stuff all around. Love seeing Joe and other characters get fleshed out a little bit more. So
Well, it
8 out of
turns
10.
out it's a little known fact that Darkseid's always had a thing for Star Sapphire. So,
Uh, I thought you were gonna say Darkseid's always had a thing for lesbians, which I mean, that would
Why
also
not
make
both?
sense. Yeah,
They can't protect the universe if they're too busy having sex all the
I'm
time.
clearly. I was like, where, where was this needed? You know what I mean?
distracted.
In your grand plans for this
Yeah,
dark universe filled with adversity, or did you just want
exactly.
to see some of these DC women hook up with each other?
Why not?
Anyway,
Why not? All right.
Why not?
All right. Next
Batman.
up, Batman #3, written by Matt Fraction with art inside and out, drawn by Jorge Jimenez and Tomu Mori with Clayton Coles and Jorge Jimenez on lettering, which I thought was pretty cool to credit him. Bernard of dating Tim Drake fame notices that Tim always comes back beat up whenever they go away together. Pretty sure that Bernard knew about Tim being Robin back in Fitzmartin's run, but that's neither here nor there. Damian gets accepted into Gotham U, skipping high school. He hates that idea for some reason. Vandal Savage set up Batman and Robin, killing cops. Riddler is losing his mind, going crazy with riddles because Dr. Zeller is experimenting on patients in Arkham, but he wasn't in Arkham. And a young kid seeks out a reporter to tell his story. So I don't like this. The ghost hologram, what the fuck ever, Alfred, it's dumb as hell. It makes no sense. It's just a way for a writer to say, I want Alfred in here, and here's the only way readers will accept it. I don't accept it, not even by a fraction. But there's a hey, I'm Bruce Wayne moment in the boardroom, so we can say that he's done something that people haven't done in a while, except it's the GCPD versus the Batman and Robin again, so that's not new at all. There's also a joke in here that I don't get with Batman, Bullock, and Gordon looking down, seeing a GCPD truck swerve at the last second to avoid hitting a woman, and there's something between them. Is it supposed to be something about Batman vanishing? Because if it is, it doesn't land at all. The art is
Yeah, it is.
really good,
yeah,
cool art.
I've-
Crediting Jimenez with the lettering and panels is pretty cool. I just don't get why you would come into a book like this. To me, bottom line, coming in and doing your own thing on a main ongoing title isn't doing your own thing. It's shitting on everybody and everything that came before you without care. Write a side story, Elseworlds, Black Label, Vertigo, Trade, OGN, whatever. Don't shit on everybody else's stuff. The story so far, it's still all being set up really even. I don't even know what the story is supposed to be quite yet, and it's issue 3. A setup should be interesting, and so far I'm not interested. Art for the win, 6.5 out of 10. Matt Fraction, you have fucking let me down.
Yeah, I gotta say I'm not as hating it as much as Josh, but I'm not really enjoying it that much either.
Nope, this feels
There's
so generic.
it's just it's awkward. There's parts I like and there's parts I don't. Um, I really like the stuff with the Riddler. Him going slowly insane was kind of interesting, but the rest could kind of like mid.
Mm.
Um, that's about the long and short of it. Yeah, it's getting a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually kind of like this one. I feel like it has, for me at least, progressively gotten better since the first issue. I would say that the thing that is the weakest for me tends to be Bruce's voice, which I'm just not really sure what it's meant to be. Or I'm not really sure what Matt Fraction's vision for Bruce is meant to be. Um, but I don't know. I honestly, I kind of like this one. There are some very interesting storytelling moments that kind of reminded me of some of the stuff he was doing with Iron Fist, which I really liked. But above all, I know you were kind of hating the Alfred stuff, but given that Bruce has been through quite a lot within the past year or so, like I can kind of see why he would fall back on Alfred in a moment like this, and not necessarily because oh, I miss you and all this. Of course, he'll always miss Alfred, but it's really just more like I don't know. It's when times are tough, when things are stressful. It's nice to have something that is a bit familiar. So
Like
I see
his
it more
whole
like
fucking
that.
living family that he's gotten closer
I mean,
to over and
obviously,
over and
yes,
more and
that, but
more.
like they're not with him at all times of the day. And Tim's in the hospital right now. They have their own lives. So it's just like if Bruce is on a solo case and it's one that is a bit more confusing or harrowing, again, given everything that he's been through, I can see why there would be moments where he would look back and sort of hear Alfred's voice in his ear. I don't hate that.
He waited for
Um,
Damien to leave the Batcave and then talk shit to fake Alfred about Damien.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
I
just
don't
saying.
know.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
I
dude.
guess, but
But we got a couple more
there are
minutes
moments
here.
like that, you know.
We got a
I,
couple
I
more minutes
I
here, and
just I just got two more points about Batman really quick. That Damien kick in the nuts to Bruce was kind of really dumb. It feels like Matt Fraction doesn't really get Batman,
Mhm.
and I'll give Matt Fraction this. He tried to give Bernard a personality, but he did the impossible, made me hate Bernard more.
Yeah, it was a bit obnoxious in this one, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
that was
I
just it
I
was annoying.
yeah, like his voice isn't my favorite, but I can I am not necessarily as down on voices of Bruce that are a little bit more lighthearted. Although, I mean, yeah, it's kind of silly having him, get a nut shot and everything. But I don't know. It wasn't something that bothered me immensely. You know what I mean? And I think I'm more interested in where Bruce's emotional arc is going with
Yeah.
this whole, having to face off against Savage and the GCPD, but also are the Arkham patients being manipulated, or are they just going crazy, or what's the deal? So there's stuff that I'm invested in that I want to see how it pays off.
Yeah.
But again, that's just me. I don't know. I just found like the first issue was a little shaky, but the past two issues have been ones that I've kind of enjoyed. So
Fair enough.
fair enough. And
We'll have
let's
to see where it goes.
wrap it up with the finale.
Yeah.
DCKO Night Fight #1. Rob, you mind if I blow through this one real quick?
Go for it if you can do it quick.
Written by Joshua Williamson with art inside and out, drawn by Dan Mora with colors from Tirona Farrell with lettering from Tom Napolitano. So it is Batman versus Batman to the death because our Batman was instantly boom tubed upon his death after a while of being dead back to someplace that makes him not dead anymore. But it also puts him into Gotham Punk 2077, where Dick is Batman with a worldwide network of Robins, and Bruce dunked himself into the Lazarus pits so he didn't have to stop being Batman. And he killed Jason, Tim, and Damian to be able to do so. And Talia, Raish, and Selina were also all driven mad by the pits as well. Review. Batman's body is old again, though it was recently restored quite a bit with the injections he received from that pharmaceutical company. This isn't
Yeah, that
what
was
I
never gonna
expected
last.
this book to be at all. I thought we were going to see Batman in the tournament. Obviously, there's a reason for it, but it doesn't make any sense at all. This whole thing has just had Williamson making shit up to make the story work. The Heart of Apocalypse, Darkseid existed before it, merged with it, transformed him from bad guy to bad guy with rocky skin. Doomsday was created to fight against the Heart of Apocalypse. It looks damn good, but this is sad. It's a bunch of made up shit strewn together for less than great.
I mean, all
made
comics
up
are made
shit.
up shit. But I
Well,
understand
yeah,
what you're
but
saying.
you know what I mean.
Right.
Retconned and altered and changed, and it's.
If I can
yeah,
just say
I'm
about
being
this
kind,
though,
giving it a 6.5.
He's like they're real people.
if you thought, if anybody thought that this mini was going to be about Bruce in the tournament, I don't know where you got that idea, because it never made that apparent.
Abundantly clear, like they were very clear in the marketing that he was going to be fighting the Robins,
Other
as
Robins
Batman.
as Batman. That's
Robins
all it
as
was.
Batman.
And in the
But
very
why?
first issue of DCKO, he lost. Like,
Yeah, well, he didn't even lose. It didn't even make it. Which is,
Well,
that's what I
why
mean,
even
yeah.
have this book? I don't get it.
In terms of the why, that I'll get into with my brief review, which is
go for it.
I didn't really have any frustration or hate towards some of the like retcons. I didn't even really see any retcons in this, save for actually no, I don't think I saw any.
Not in this
I'm really sure
particular
you're getting
issue.
it's like I'm not really sure where you were getting the old Bruce thing from. I think
Because
Dick was
he
just
talks
saying
about how
that
his
was
knees
something
and about how
Yeah,
his knees
it
are
was-
cracking and his body is aching.
Oh,
and he can't move as
yeah.
fast as he can anymore. I'm like, we literally just watched this get resolved.
His knees weak, arms are heavy.
Yeah,
I
fucking
suppose,
spaghetti
but
all
we
over
also
his fat
don't know. We also don't know. Yeah, we also don't know what. If you look at the costumes, it could have been at any point in the past. I think they were just
Yeah.
using that as some kind of reference point, which is how I took it. Right? So this is not necessarily possibly up to date with the whole Elixir storyline or whatever that thing was called. My I guess frustration with the book's two things. I'll keep it brief. The first is, why does this exist? Like, it's fun, I guess, but in terms of how it's meant to service DCKO, this feels
Yeah.
entirely superfluous. Like, he's
Yeah.
just kind of going on a magical mystery tour fighting his Robins. Is it like an emotional journey? Is it
It's
I'm just
not
like
even
quoting
his
albums
Robins.
now.
He killed all of them with Dick.
What is the intention behind this? And maybe that will be revealed in the next 3 issues of this 4-issue miniseries. But right now, I'm kind of like, why am I reading this? Save for the designs are very cool.
Yeah.
The
I'm
second thing
reading it for the
is-
Batleth, but
yeah, the second thing is, it feels very much like a Cliff's Notes version of a book. Like he shows up in actually right from the opening, it feels like a Cliff's Notes version where it's like Bruce is going through the motions and recounting all the Robins and asking whether or not he's needed in Gotham City if all of his proteges are there. And it's like, okay, well, we're not going to dig into that because we got to go to KO. And then suddenly he's awake in Gotham City, and Dick is giving exposition on how he's made the world a better place. And that feels like the Cliff's Notes version of that. And I'm like, so we're not going to dig into this either. Like, it just feels like we're cycling through things so fast. And I get it. It's only 4 issues. You got to get through all the Robins because there's only 4. But,
Yeah.
But 3 of them are dead.
for in this
would-
universe,
in this
but he's going to be
timeline,
going to
yeah,
other
exactly.
ones. Yeah.
Oh,
I
Bruce
would tell you
Bruce,
to maybe
it's
check out.
Batman.
I know
the
you
Road
hate
Home.
it. Maybe check out the solicitation premise of this book, so you have a better sense of what's coming.
I just
Yeah.
figured
Is that-
out what it
a
is.
little
It's Batman the Road Home. He's gonna fight his Robins, and then that somehow is gonna lead him back to being alive.
Yeah, at least Batman the Road Home had him going through fun iterations of DC's history. But no, I don't know. This is just like, I don't know. It is a premise that feels like an Atari, and not an Atari game. It feels like an arcade game. Batman fighting different Batmen. I'm just not really sure what is the point, and nothing in the issue really captivated me that
Yes.
made me want to.
Batman
Keep
Neo
reading,
Geo.
I
That's
guess.
what I'm calling this from now on.
It's honestly, it's maybe more like Batman Quantum Leap.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, like the
Batman
premise
Quantum
of
Geo.
Batman fighting future Batmen who were his Robins sounds like a ridiculous premise that you would come up with while you were drunk at 2 a.m. But I'm just not really sure you can justify 4 issues of that. And I'm not
The
sure what you can give me that will justify 4 issues of that.
the
But
only way I could ever accept an ending for this is if maybe this is a time for Bruce to be like, you know what, maybe I'm gonna retire for a bit
yeah, okay.
by the end of this. That's the way this first issue
Have you
went.
seen the states? Have you seen the state comics have been in the past
Oh,
few years? You really think they're gonna
no.
retire Bruce Wayne?
They
Come
need
on,
a
man.
big
Be
change
so for real.
for Batman because it's getting fucking old.
Yeah, clearly. And then anticipate the return of Bruce Wayne event a year later.
Well, you know what they're gonna do? They turn Batman Beyond into Tim Drake. It's gonna be fucking get Terry McGinnis in here for fuck's sake.
That would be very cool.
I'm
But we
still
both know
salty.
it doesn't work like that. We just know.
Get Jace
That's
Fox
gonna be
back.
the funny thing. It's gonna be like 2147 and we'll be underwater because of global warming. And I don't know how they'll still be making comics, but
It'll
if
still
they
be Bruce
are,
Wayne.
it will still be Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And like the sliding timeline will have moved Terry to like the year 3000 with the Legion of Superheroes.
God
Actually, no,
damn it.
Legion of Superheroes will be in the year 4000. So
Yeah, because sliding timeline on that world too. We will be in the year 3000 and Bruce Wayne will still be fucking Batman.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was fun to read this issue, Night Fight, but again, like you guys said, there seems to be no direction. It doesn't really seem to fit, other than like we're just doing this so Batman can have something to do because he's the biggest selling character in DC. I'll admit I'm smitten
Pretty
with the
much.
costumes, like Brandon said. I was excited for the Batleth. I'm disappointed it was not in this issue. So that gives it what did it what the fuck 8. I'll give it an 8.
It's only for the designs and
Yeah.
because ink is kind of a cool concept. But yeah, I don't know.
It's an
What
interesting
was I gonna say? Oh,
plot,
I
but
was
it seems to have no direction.
yeah. No, I don't want to get too distracted, but I was laughing because I was thinking this would have made a great episode of Futurama, but like I was thinking like I was thinking like if you had someone who was like the ultimate comics fan and they were just like, all I want is to know like what comics are gonna be like in the future. So I'm gonna freeze myself till the year 3000 and see like what Batman's up to and and what any of them are up to. And they get there and it's like, who's Batman? It's like a bunch of characters you've never heard of or something.
It's
probably
either that or DC announces Batman Hush 9.
Yeah, or some it would be a version of that. Like they don't even know what it is, or it is like the 250th iteration of Back to Basics Batman.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Guns
I
have
was-
been
that would be-
obsolete for
that would be
500 years, but Bruce Wayne's parents were gunned down in an alleyway.
They were gunned down in an alleyway by an AI programmed bullet with precision timing and I don't know, some kind of
Hologram Joe Chill.
metallic alloy or something. Yeah, it's like coming this summer.
You're muted, Josh.
By the
The
year
latest
3000,
iteration of
we'll all be watering our crops with Gatorade and think that DC Comics is historical.
This got what Lance
Watch
craved.
the
It's got
outfit, lately.
electrolytes. All right, I think that about does it for our books.
It does. So let's hit our top 3. I'll kick it off. Top 3, third place, Birds of Prey. Second place, Absolute Superman. And in first place, it's going to have to be Poison Ivy. The panel in Poison Ivy, which is my favorite moment, after she confirms that her marsh has been hidden again from anyone she doesn't trust. It's half her face as she says, good. Man, that was done so well. I wish it was so much larger. There was so much emotion in that tiny looking fucking panel. It was my favorite moment, hands down.
Yeah.
But what about you guys?
Totally.
Brandon, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm very late, or will be very late.
course.
But my top three are Birds of Prey at number two, Absolute Green Lantern. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, Absolute Green Lantern at number three, and JSA number 13 at number one. Tough to pick my favorite moment of this week, but um, even if I am not the biggest fan of this book, I gotta admit, Dick's Batman costume is really fucking cool, and yes, I want a figure of it. That splash of him arriving after the Robins have chased him to wherever they were chasing him, towards the tower or something, it just looks cool as hell. Just looks cool as hell. What can I say?
Yeah.
I'll give you that bat symbol looks pretty
Even
cool.
Dick with
That
red
blend of the
temples.
Nightwing logo and the bat
Yeah.
symbol, that's pretty dope.
Yeah. Well, and also just the fact that he was still using the Eskrima sticks, which,
Yep.
correct me if I'm wrong, I think he only used very briefly in the Morrison Batman and Robin run, and it might have been in like that last issue, in issue 16 or whatever it was. And I was always like, okay, I know he's not Nightwing anymore, and you can't lean too much into it because he's supposed to be pretending to be Batman. But I'm like, Batman with the Scream of Six is so badass.
Right.
Just have him use it for one more issue, please.
He
So,
even said, like,
love
I only
that.
wear the cape for Legacy, but I don't need it. And he just rips that cape off, and
Yeah.
he's just Nightwing.
Which I may or may not be. Oh, that was actually, there's another thing I wanted to mention, but that may or may not be a reference to that Batman and Robin run, because there's an issue where he's complaining about the cape, and he's like, the first thing I did when I became Nightwing was the cape. I hated wearing it. I'm an aerialist. I'm supposed to soar, and this is so uncomfortable for me. So the fact that he can still be as effective, if not more so, was really great. But there was a way that Dan Mora drew the eyes. It might have been a reference. I might have just been looking into it too much, but they're more narrow or more rectangular. I don't have the right way to describe it. And it looked very similar to how Frank Quitely drew Dick's Batman suit. If I could put them side by side, you kind of see it. But I always love that because it really distinguishes the way that Dick's face fits into the cowl versus Bruce's face fits into the cowl. So you really know, not that, it's like a huge difference, but I noticed.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was. My eyes could have
I
been
see
seeing
it.
something that was not there. But
Hope.
yeah, I love that suit. What can I say?
Fair enough. Real quick, my top three is JS8 number 3, Poison Ivy at number 2, and Absolute Green Lantern at number 1. My favorite moment is so hard to pick because there's a lot of cool ones in Absolute Green Lantern and JS8, but I think I'm going to give it to final page of Birds of Prey because that one made my jaw drop.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, that was kind of wild. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, then our last part is favorite cover, and I don't know the last time that this happened, if it ever has. But for me, Jessica Fong is going to take second place to Dan Mora and Trish Farrell's DCKO Night Fight cover. That fire,
yeah.
the people in it, man, there's no other word but impressive.
It is a hell of a hell. Every cover this week was really cool. I might fuck. See, I really want to give it to Poison Ivy as well, but I think I have to give it to Absolute Green Lantern because the light work on that is gorgeous.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
All right, Brandon, you
Gotta
one
give it to
like?
Jason.
Oh yeah.
Obviously I'm a bit biased, but I mean, Our Man, Sandman, and it's Dave Johnson, and you know how much I love 100 Bullets.
Yeah.
So obviously seeing him do covers in anything is always a treat. But seeing him do two very underrated members of the JSA looking fine as hell is gonna win it for me.
You know, I'm disappointed in Rafa Sandoval's Superman cover.
It was really cool.
I think it was a cool
I
idea.
get what it was going for.
Yeah, I like what he was going for. Yeah, for sure. But all right, that is it.
But yeah.
Yeah. All right, that is it, and that is all. Thank you, everybody, for watching and or listening. We'll be back next week covering all of DC's week releases. I am in the middle of my dance remix, apparently. Same Geek time, same Geek channel, but that's a lie. We all know it. And that is the show. We're getting out of here, so you'll have to as well. Be careful out there, and remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you are not alone.
Peace.
Nice.
Matrix, you are not alone.
Peace.
Nice.